Well, good morning, you guys. It's Crystal here from Homemaking on the Homestead. And in today's video, I just have a few thoughts I'm going to share with you. And I'm trying out the new, this new slow living type of video. I haven't really done this before. I've done it maybe in other ways, but in any case, I just want to welcome you to my channel. I know I have a lot of new subscribers, and so I just wanted to say welcome and thank you for coming along on this journey. I find a lot of peace in being a homemaker. I find a lot of joy in homemaking. Even though things around me are far from what other people might consider perfect, I have this unique situation in that after our kids were gone and my husband had retired, my daughter and her husband and 5 children needed a little bit of a place to live, and they didn't need a place to live, but maybe more of a change, and they had some goals they were trying to reach. And so we said, well, hey, how about if we figure out a way that you could move in with us, because our house is on the larger side, and this seemed like a good opportunity to share the blessing, since it was a lot of house for just 2 people at this point. We'd actually talked the year previous to him retiring about them moving in, and so my husband spent the year creating a little space, a little apartment, so that we had our own space in the house and they had their own space. And this, seemed like a good plan. My daughter at the time was pregnant with baby number 6, and we all decided after talking that, it would be easier for her if she didn't have to move in her last trimester or move with a newborn baby. So what we ended up doing was just kind of accelerating the process. So a lot of things in my little apartment, I can call it, are not finished and they're not perfect. It could be a lot of reason for me to be discontent, just because it takes a lot. After life got going, my husband retired. Some things have gotten done and some things have not, but it's really, I am not discontent about it. In fact, I'm quite the opposite. I enjoy this situation so much. A home really is where our heart is at. It isn't about the structure. I have watched several YouTube channels, people living in all kinds of different types of circumstances, whether they're living on a boat or I've been following one couple for a few years that up until recently had been living in a 13-foot trailer that they would camp in and go around and see the United States and have all kinds of experiences in that. I've seen people living in tiny homes, people living in vans, and of course people living in gorgeous, beautiful homes and tiny little homes. I really think that a home is where your heart is at, and it is not the structure. It's that place that you can call your own little nest. So even though my living situations are maybe on the rougher side, I guess you could say, they're really not, but that is how it could appear. It is my nest, and I take a lot of pride and I take a lot of joy in taking care of that. Proverbs 31 woman, she watches over the ways of her household, and she does not eat the bread of idleness. I think no matter what, we are being asked by the Lord to take care of and be a good steward to the home that He has given us, no matter what that is.
I have walked through the darkest valley. I was lost, couldn't find my way. But then I heard Him from within, He who died for my sins. He spoke my name, then I saw His face.
I think the more that we invest our time and our effort into keeping our little nest or big nest, whatever we have, clean and orderly, the more we invest in that, the more we begin to love that. And the more we begin to love that, the more contentment and peace we find in it. And we find that we want to keep doing that. I've been a homemaker pretty much all my life. I had a few jobs when I was younger, but I came home to have my children, to raise my children, to homeschool my children, and I have been at home ever since. I find it an honor and a blessing. I can't even tell you the blessings that I have experienced over the years. And in our current situation, I have the blessing, the continued blessing of being able to be part of my grandchildren's lives. I have spent many birthdays and evenings and afternoons with them. I have enjoyed the blessing of listening to my little 3-year-old recite her Awana verses, just absolutely precious. And so many things that I could have missed that I have been able to enjoy. And that is a blessing, because I know my situation won't last forever. I know that at some point my kids, my daughter and her family will achieve their goals, and they will find a place that works for them. And then they will move, and we will be back to just the two of us, which, that's okay too. But in the meantime, I am just relishing all the moments that I have. I don't show them a lot, or the main portion of the house a whole lot. I try to respect their privacy. I didn't want them to feel like when they moved in that the deal required having a camera in your face all the time. So, I try to be respectful of that. Probably one of the biggest challenges I've had doing this, living in this situation, was the downsizing. I had a large house, and I had 8 children and a lot of stuff. Over the years, I had downsized as the kids were growing up and moving, but there was still a lot. And my goal was to clean out the main part of the house so that there was room for her things and her family. And in doing that, that took me a long time to get through all of that. And it was difficult. There were just a lot of memories, a lot of things that I just couldn't keep anymore, or I didn't need anymore. I think that was basically it. I kind of learned this somewhat minimalism type of a situation, or a mindset, which actually was helpful in this, that I was able to just let go of things. I've had a few things here and there that I have wished I hadn't gotten rid of. Nothing sentimental, more things that were practical. I've had to rebuy a couple things because, oops, I guess I shouldn't have handed that off to the thrift store. But that's okay. There hasn't been a lot, and it really has worked out just fine. The organizational aspect of it, got to find new ways to do things and new methods, like, storing all my towels in a basket instead of a drawer. I think I probably have too many towels for that, or whatever. And then the other thing too is I didn't get rid of anything. I had to downsize my furniture. I had to downsize a lot of things. And so many things, though, went into storage, because I knew also that this situation wasn't going to last forever. And at some point I would be getting back into the main part of the house. And so I didn't want to get rid of all my furniture. So I still had beds from guest rooms and dressers and things like that they just simply went into storage. And, that's where they are now. And they are waiting while we continue to live this journey. Or maybe I should just call it this season of life, because life really is full of a lot of seasons. Things that you don't know the end of are probably the hardest seasons to live through if it's a difficult situation. But if it's a situation like this one is, and it's not difficult, and I'm enjoying it so much, I'm not in any hurry for the season to end. I'm very content with exactly where things are at right now. I think one of the best parts of my day is when I get all my chores done and I get to work on a project that whatever project I have going. And since it was a very cold day, I woke up this morning and it was snowing out, and so there was going to be no going outside and walking, and it was just too cold and I just wasn't in the mood. So I figured, wow, this is the perfect day and the perfect time for me to get going on this apron. I bought the fabric a while back, so I wanted to start working on it. At this point in my life, I am 58. I am actually going to be 59 in a few weeks. And really my biggest goal in life is just to have peace and simplicity. A life that doesn't involve drama and all the things that can come at times in our lives, but just to the best of our ability to focus on loving and serving my family. I think that is ultimately the path to the most contentment and the most joy, is when we serve the Lord through serving our family. One of my best friends said to me one time, we are the hands and feet of Jesus, and we are the ones that are there to be able to show the world the love of Jesus and the peace and contentment that comes from a life of service to the Lord. My desire in sharing this day in my life with you is to be able to impart that peace and that joy that comes from investing in your home and investing in your life, living a life of peace and joy. Part of the definition of slow living is to identify the things that you value the most and investing yourself in those things. I really want to encourage you, ladies, today to take that moment to just be grateful for the home that you live in, the situation that you live in. Find that peace and find that joy by committing yourself to the things that you value the most. Seek peace and simplicity, and seek the Lord every day. Take that time in the Word to just really let that sink into your heart and enjoy the beauty and the blessings of a life of service to the Lord. I hope you all have an awesome day, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye-bye.